Hello everyone. Today, let's dive into NIO stock, its recent achievements, and upcoming events. NIO's record-breaking deliveries and expanding infrastructure paint a positive picture. We're leaning towards a bullish outlook, with potential tests at $11.04 and $12.03. Stay tuned for exciting developments. What's going on with NIO stock and talk about some very important levels. I'm also going to give you guys my price prediction, what I think is going to play out for tomorrow, as we're starting to look a little bit more bullish on the 4-hour time frame. But I first want to talk about a very important level and a test for NIO, which is going to dictate which way this thing ends up going. I'm also going to talk about NIO, QQQ, and a couple of other tickers, and then break down what's going on with all this data and the news. But before I break anything down, all this information, anyways, let's break down what's going on with NIO. NIO is up 7.11% today, respecting a nice uptrend from here. But the question is, will NIO try to continue pushing? In my opinion, there's a good chance NIO is going to get a very important test, and I will talk about this in just a couple of minutes. But let's first talk about some news, some other important things about the markets, before I talk about the charts on all the different tickers. So what's good about NIO is NIO just broke their all-time high deliveries record. We saw other companies do relatively well too, but if anything, NIO absolutely crushed it. If you look, so NIO said they did about 19,000 deliveries in August. That is once again very close to their all-time high record. That's above their range that they basically estimated, and it's still looking very strong amidst the slowdowns that are happening in China. So demand is slowing down in China. There's no doubt about that. There are hardships going on. That's true. But despite that, NIO is still absolutely crushing it. They're doing almost 20,000 deliveries almost every single month for the last 2 months, and they're going to continue to do so, in my opinion. I think we're going to end on a very strong note, which could most definitely help the share price. So things are looking good for them, especially with NIO Phone coming out. And I think that this is going to be very positive for their technicals. Now for tomorrow, I have a reminder for everyone. Tomorrow when the market opens, may be very slow when we start off, but then what's going to set the direction for the day is going to be the economic optimism report. This is coming out at about 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time or New York time. My time is different right here because it's for the West Coast. 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time or New York time, 30 minutes after the market opens. Expect some volatility that is going to affect how the market ends up moving. Now there's been another update for NIO. However, NIO has reported that as of August 31, NIO has 134 NIO houses, 286 NIO spaces, 301 NIO service centers, and about 1,800 power swap stations with 3074 power charger stations. Once again, a total of 18,058 power chargers. That's good news for them as infrastructure is continuing to improve. That's very good for them. So I'm very excited about this. They have quite a 5 in Europe as well. They have the European numbers right here. About 11 NIO spaces in Europe, 141 power swap stations, 5 in Europe, they have 2 in Europe. When it comes to their overall power charges, they're just barely entering Europe. And I think they're going to continue to grow, in my opinion. It's growing. It's continuing to grow, and I think there's so much potential. 77 million was the volume. It's starting to get some good buying pressure. And what else is worth noting is it had this high short interest down here that went down as we started to see some shorts covering right before NIO's deliveries. It's almost as if they knew something. And NIO is starting to show some life now. Going up, NIO tends to be green about 55% of the time on Tuesdays. There's a good chance it's going to try to continue pushing. Price-press ratio is starting to bounce right here. If you go there and look at the rise, you might see some relative strength. And Mizaho is giving NIO a buy rating. NIO is currently gaining some positive factors. I believe that on the 4-hour time frame, it looks bullish, and it's going to be testing the 200 EMA. So I think tomorrow NIO is going to test $11.04, and we're going to see if NIO could bounce off that or not. If it could break $11.04, if we manage to break it, this thing has potential to push up to $12.03 plus, so I'm leaning more bullish. I think we're going to see NIO push up even higher and hit $11.04, potentially even $12. I think there's going to be a nice pop on NIO. I'm leaning more bullish for tomorrow. However, the whole market is still a little bit different, and I think this could affect NIO later on. For the QQQ, the same thing is possible, but on the 4-hour time frame, it's looking a little weaker. It may retest like 380, maybe even 382, and then start slowing down. Or it could just slow down from here. If it does slow down from here, you're going to be watching it retest 375 and then 372. I think the ODS greatly favor that, so you just want to be open-minded just to be safe. And finally, for NVIDIA, we have a bearish cross on the PPO. If you go and see for yourself, it might look a bit weaker. At the moment, it seems like more downside is coming. If you go there and see, there could be a little bounce from the imbalance down there at 466 and an attempt to retest that 490 resistance. Reject off that, then start cooling off to about 475. Our 50 EMA is at 475, so I think this is going to be retested that breaks. I think it's going to be going all the way back down to 470. So a little bounce, a retest of 490, and the potential rejection. We have a bearish cross on the PPO. I think the ODS greatly favor price action like that. Finally, what does this mean for NIO? Well, initially the market is going to try to pop, and I think that this is going to help NIO. With the economic optimism report coming out, expect some volatility 30 minutes after the market opens, and then after that we'll see if NIO could break above the 200. If it breaks it, this thing has more potential for upside. If not, it is what it is. I do believe NIO could retest the 200. We'll see if this breaks. If it manages to break it, that's going to be a good sign. If it rejects, it is what it is. But my guts tells me it's going to break it and approach this $12 area very soon over the next couple of days and start outperforming the market because NIO did very well with their deliveries. I also think that there's a possible uptrend that could be respected as we have this possible inverse head and shoulders, and that could bring NIO all the way back up to like $12.04. So I think we're going to retest the 200 at $11.04. We may reject off this temporarily, but I think we want to just establish the higher low. I think NIO is going to slowly start pushing back into the $12, and the $12.04 should be tested over the next couple of days. The market may make it a little bit more difficult for NIO to try to really push up. The overall market makes kind of act as an anchor just temporarily, but NIO will still see some upside most likely nonetheless, and I still think that there's lots of potential to do so now. Even if the market gets some kind of pullback in September, I still believe that regardless of that, like I said in my earlier videos, towards the end of the year, NIO could still see a massive squeeze. I'm still very bullish on NIO nonetheless, so I'm very excited. I can't wait for what the future holds. And with that said, I thank you all so much for listening. Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more stock predictions and market insights. Remember to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Happy investing and see you in the next video.